Saturday morning flight sim.
It's not morning, you drongo. It's evening.
Good evening, good day, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Positive Freight. What a show we got today for you. 5 products. Count them. Count them. 5 products. 5 products to talk about today. Super excited. First and foremost, we'd like to welcome PMS50 to the Positive Rate family as an official supporter of our channel. And we'll be talking a bit about the GTN 750 that integrates very well into one of the newest aircraft in our fleet. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Black Square Grand Piston Duke. We do have the turbine as well. Liveries are on the way. Unfortunately, paint kits are a bit scarce for this at the moment, so we're going to have to see what Dark can whip up. But it's absolutely phenomenal. Now, I've got a history with this add-on, or this airplane anyway. There was an excellent Beach Duke and Turbine Duke for Flight Simulator 10 FSX. Different studio many years ago. Unfortunately, that studio they just packed up. They did their thing. They were very popular. It was an incredible airplane. To this date, I haven't really seen its equal, and certainly not seen a Duke in the sim. And I'm absolutely delighted to tell you that this airplane is just absolutely amazing. It's so much fun to fly. It's got all the detail you could ever want in a general aviation aircraft, and it's just really cool. It's just really awesome. So yeah. Anyway, so we're going to take it through the paces today, and just bring out the sim noises a bit here. Got some rockin' tunes today. So Nighthawk says, "Morning everyone, just purchased the C414 Chancellor." Oh, very nice. And this will be your first flight on it. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have that one. That is another one to watch. I dare say that although I think the Chancellor is a bit bigger, and from a performance perspective, the Duke absolutely matches the Chancellor in a lot of different ways. And certainly in terms of the add-on complexity, you're going to find it here. Black Square is such a wonderful company, wonderful studio. They have made some great stuff, and of course a huge thanks to Just Flight for giving us an opportunity to showcase this. Nighthawk says the C414 is 50% off the marketplace. Wow, that's a good deal. I've got airplanes around me. I don't see any other people around. I think Nighthawk was threatening to fly with me today, but I'm not sure what's happening. And yes, it's a busy airport today in the North Europe server. So if you want to fly with us, you can join us on the North Europe server. We're using live weather today. We'll see how that goes. And of course, I've got my window open, so if I close that, this is the detail of all of this. I don't know if that made a difference. Oh, I know I've got the door open, that's why. So yeah, I just wanted to take a quick tour around the cabin. So, you know, there's some lovely detail in here. So we'll close that door. That'll dampen the noise a bit. There's a lovely little pull-out table here for the passengers. Grand Duke is very spacious. Comfortable seating for 4 passengers, and then of course you can also have a passenger or a co-pilot in the front with you. But anyway, we're getting ready for flights. So we'll pack that away, and it's just all the little details that come with it as well. Look at this. Like you got lights here. Of course, the batteries are off. So let's tell you what. The EFB on this is really cool. So whether you call it an EFB, I'm not sure, but we've got our luggage door open, so we can close that. There it goes. Click. And I'm going to go through the engine simulation in a moment, but what I'm going to do for the moment, I'm just going to put in external power, just so we can see all the lights operating. There we go. So you can see those lights coming on now. Some of them, oh, that's oxygen anyway. And they all do stuff. It's awesome. The other thing I like too about this airplane is if it's nighttime, so I'll just quickly roll up to night. Christian's back. Hey. So change this to nighttime for a minute. And you know that when you first get in that cockpit and you just can't see anything? Well, there's a handy light here if I can find the switch for it. Still need the flashlight. There's the button there. So I'll turn the flashlight, but you turn that on. You got a nice little kind of general illumination light, just so you can enough to find probably the battery. Actually, I think it would still need the I would still need the bloody torch to do anything. Excuse me. And we'll go back to the proper time today. So we'll take off that external power. We don't need it just now. And I'm going to show you one engine. So, you know, obviously starting this up, it's not like your typical default aircraft, or in many cases your typical add-on. What we're going to do is we're going to bring that mixture up to rich. We're going to bring pops to full, and we're going to start the engines here. And you're in for a treat. I'm going to turn the noises up as well so you can really hear it. So the cowl flaps, this is very important too on this airplane. The cowl flaps are underneath. This is critical in helping you cool the engines. Very important when you're on the ground starting up, and also when you are climbing. Until you get up to a certain altitude, the engines will start cooling off. You can close them, and then it keeps some of the residual heat in the plane. But if you don't have those open and overheat the engines, they'll just bust up. And what's really cool is you have an engine condition bar, and this will go down if you start damaging the engine. And in some cases, certainly on the turbine version, you can just blow that engine right off the start. And it doesn't matter what your settings in the sim are. So it's really worth looking. But look at this. This is so cool. So this is basically a simulation of what's happening in the engine. It's a 6-cylinder. And you can see we've got fuel there. So the fuel is on. I've checked that. What we're going to do, we're going to put the battery on. And we're going to start the left engine first. So I'm going to put on the fuel pump. And we're just going to give it just a little bit of throttle, and what you're going to see is an indication of that fuel working its way into the engine, which is really cool. We want to see that fill up and go to the end. So now what I'll do is I'm gonna cut that for a sec. We'll turn that off. Okay. Now if and you'll see that that fuel's starting to drain back again. Now if I try to start the engine right now, I'll just kill the music for a sec here. If I try to start that engine now, nothing. I'll turn that down just so you can see that a bit better. Right? Because there's not enough. There's not enough fuel saturated into the engine to start your combustion. And what I'll do is I'll again increase that fuel, and I'll get on our pump again. I'm gonna start seeing that fill up. And what we want to do is want fuel to be running just a little bit into every single piston. You don't want to do too much because you could flood the engine. And this is a wonderful way, and for me it's a learning experience, a wonderful way to teach people how these engines work. You can see our battery's starting to drain here. That's why we don't have any avionics on. Okay, we've got fuel. Now let's give it a go. Isn't that great? And the sound package on this airplane is just phenomenal. It just makes me giddy. And now we can see everything running. You can see the pistons are heating up. We can see the turbocharger operating, which is really cool. So that's coming off the exhaust there, which is then in turn firing more fuel into the engine. It's just, or more air into the engine. It's such a cool, great. It's just great. It's fantastic. And that's just the start. So I'm just gonna turn that down a little bit so we're not drowning everything out. So the right engine, I'm going to do this blind, so I'm going to put that away. We can just click there. That's fine. Everything's the same. I'm going to put the fuel pumps on. And you can hear the fuel pumps. Hopefully you can hear them in the background when you turn. Everything that you do makes noise. It's really, really cool. So think about that diagram. Think about the fact that you're now waiting for that fuel working its way into the engine and slowly saturating into the cylinders. And then when we're ready, unless we got ahead of ourselves. There it goes. It's really cool. You get cold weather simulation as well. You have to preheat the engines if it's too cold outside. But now we've got both of those engines running. Turn on our generators so we don't blow the battery out. And put on the main inverter and turn on our avionics. All this stuff's going to come to life now, including our lights at the back that we probably didn't turn off. And we can drop that throttle back to beta. Yeah, here you go. It's some wonderful steam gauges in this. It is a perfect airplane, actually. I'll show you some of the different configurations as well. Perfect airplane for doing, if you just want to do raw VOR. So we should see everything rearrange itself here. There it goes. So right, that's going back into our Bentix suite. If you just want to do straight VOR with nav 1 and nav 2 radios. Christian says, do the fuel boost pumps go to off after the engine start? No, you got to turn them off. So I'll turn those off now, actually. But I'll put it back to, you've got your different options here. There's a GNS 350. We can put 350. So some people like to use the more fiddly version of the GPS here, which will kick in. This is a bug introduced. Ooh, that's interesting. Oh, right. So there you go. Looks like there will be a patch for this at some point, because simulator Sim Update 15 has caused a few issues. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the PMS 50 GTN, and also you'll notice right away that if you are a user of the TDS competing GTNX, that is also available for integration into here. But we'll stick with that. And there is a weather radar, and from what I can tell, it works. I don't know how they did it, but When you're up in clouds, you do see that come to life a bit. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I know there's a new version. That's fine. So we've got a flight plan, which is available in the show notes if you want to download that. Thank you to PMS50 that they've given us access to some of the great features here. So if we go into flight plan and menu, I'm going to import it. Now I've got this. There are instructions on how to set up this file, but I've already got the file there. So I'm just going to bring that in. It'll confirm, do you want to load? Yes. And bosh, it comes in. So if we go back to our map now, we can see everything ready to go. And I'll take you through the route as well today in a moment. Also quite handy to have your second 650 screen below. Now you'll notice that we're currently in VLOC. That's deliberate. So we are going to use some of the GPS navigation at one point, but initially, and I'll take you through the route and tell you what we're going to do. We're going to practice a little bit of nav 1 flying with a VOR radio that happens to be right in Bremen. So let me just pull up our route and I'll talk you through that. So we are here in Bremen. Now the flight plan actually calls us to go out to this custom waypoint and then intercept Echo Delta Whiskey Golf from the south. I'm going to do something slightly different. So if I go in, there's a VOR here, which is Bremen, and the frequency is 117.45. So I'm just going to go back to the sim, and you can see it. We've got our direction finder there, currently set to VOR. This is nav 1 and nav 2 respectively. So what did I say? 117.45. Yeah, 117.45, and I'm going to transfer that in straight away. And there you go. Our needle has popped out. Now the course we want to fly initially. Go back to. I actually want to pick up. There's a DME here, but there's also an NDB here. That NDB is 372. Is it kilohertz? Megahertz? Can't remember. That is November Oscar Romeo. So we want to pick up that NDB, and that NDB is directly east of Christian, you'll have to help me with the pronunciation. I think Vongerouge? Or Vroeg, something like that. Anyway, it is that's our first stop. So I'm gonna use that NDB to track us straight into the first island on our tour, which I haven't talked through. So there's all these lovely islands. This is all courtesy of Orbx. Give this wonderful scenery for the East Frisian Islands, and I'll quickly take you on a tour through Bremen in a moment as well. Wangerooge. Okay. Wangerooge. And I'm probably still mispronouncing it. So anyway, we got not bad. Wangerooge. Okay. So we've got scenery for all these islands. All the airports are detailed as well. Our last stop will be we're going to kind of drop south, fly along the coast for a bit, and then hook back and land in Borkum, which is Echo Delta Whiskey Romeo. And given enough time, we're gonna take it up nice and high and fast, all the way back to Bremen, and we're gonna do that using purely the functionality in the PMS50 and the airplane itself. So anyway, we're gonna fly that northern track to the NDB. It is pretty much directly north. Bearing and distance from, so actually it's 358 according to this. So we want to track 358. So I'm going to go back to the airplane here. I'm going to dial that in. I think it actually probably is pretty much there, isn't it? There's probably 358-ish. We got to find a runway. Good thing about this too is if you zoom right in, you actually get a handy little map of the airport there. Wind is coming from behind us right now, so I think in terms of runway, I think we're going to probably, well, we're going to have a crosswind no matter what we do. So I think we're going to take off from Waypoint info, runways. Runway 9, is that right? Yeah, I believe so. So we will set that on our heading as well. Okay, you can see that floating up and down. There's a lot of realistic simulations, and also there's a really cool thing too. Sometimes these steam gauges get stuck, and you can tap them. I don't know if that comes through. I'll close the window so you can hear the inside a bit more. There, it is actually quite nice and quiet in this cockpit with the window closed. But listen, you can actually go up and tap all these, which is really neat. So that I think it does simulate. Sometimes they just get stuck, and you can just give it a little flick, and it'll correct itself. Initial altitude, I think we're just going to stay nice and low so we can see the scenery. 2,000 will probably do. Actually, let's go 3,000. Anything else we need to worry about on here? I don't think so. Everything else is put away, so we can tuck that away. And I'll take you on a quick tour of Bremen Airport. Oh, I see what probably is going to be a Chancellor there. There's Nighthawk. And his 414, of course, I don't know if that's a fair depiction of it, but... yeah, so here we go. Here's Bremen Airport. Absolutely amazing. So it's just gonna... So coming from the back, it's a funny old airport. It looks like it's something that's been kind of continuously modified for decades. But in doing so, it produces some really unique features that you don't see. And actually, one of the things I really like, if we come back in, you're going to see it. When you're coming in off that taxiway, you got this nice kind of hedge thing that's sitting along the edge of the taxiway coming in off of runway 27 there. And then getting into the detail, Bremen itself, the scenery for Bremen itself, and this has got obviously the World Update that's done this, is really cool. I mean, it is a very detailed and interesting city. Obviously a port city as well. So there's some substantial docks that we'll see. Johnny Mon saying hello. Hello, Johnny. Hope you're doing all right. But some of the surrounding buildings are very interesting, aren't they? And if we drop right down, it's something, it just seems to integrate right into the surrounding city. It looks like it's always been there, and I think it's, for me, I think it's one of the more striking airport sceneries I've actually seen. So we can see there's some hangars in there, a few interior buildings. Big training place, Christian said, didn't you? There's a big lots of training facilities here. We got a little bit of internal modeling as well, just to give us that nice ambient effect at night. And I love the detail on, if you're moving around, you can see it's almost like a plexi, like a ribbed plexi kind of effect. It's really cool. And look at that. So I'll just quickly pop to night here. And yeah, there you go. Look at that. Look at that, guys. It is really, really stunning. A beautiful, beautiful scenery. Totally impressed with it. Oh, look at that. Thought he was about to start driving around there, and look at this. Isn't that nice? Stunning. Definitely, that deserves a clap. This is a great, great package. Well worth checking out, especially if you fly a lot into Germany. There you go. There's another terminal there. Oh, Ryanair terminal. What do you know? Do you think they charge for using the toilets inside that building? Probably. And yet all these other buildings are now coming alive. Look at that. You can tell there's definitely a lot of flight schools and various things around here. There's a big cargo area. Yeah, it's a spectacular bit of scenery there. But let's not spend the whole day sitting on the at the airport. So, oops. So we got our nav and our beacon up here. I think we're just going to roll out. And I presume Nighthawk's probably ready to go as well. Put on pitot heat for the time being. Everything else I think is probably okay. Taxi light can come on. And we've got everything set up in terms of our navigation. So once we'll take off runway heading, climb to about 3,000, and then we'll figure out what we need to do. One important thing about this, you must make sure your pitch trim is on, otherwise your autopilot doesn't work. And that's critical for it holding the attitude, and prop sync can come on as well. And going by this map, so what we want to do is, I think we're just going to roll, turn to the right here, and just head out along. We'll probably get a good view of that hedge with all the detailing on it. Roll out to runway 9. Shall bring that sim noises back up again. Just so you can really hear the guttural throes of these awesome turbine engines. I feel like there's something wrong here. Something seeming a bit sluggish. I'm not sure what. Probably just me. There we go. Probably sitting on a bit of a gradient, maybe. It's just the atmosphere and the ambience of this is so amazing. Johnny says, Willie, how the heck are you, buddy? It's been a while. Yeah. Can't join this morning, unfortunately, on your last 36 minutes in the office. All right. No worries, Johnny. Thanks for checking in anyway. Christian says those runway extensions are made specifically for beluga ops. Ah, okay. That's very cool. I think we got visors up here as well. Actually, I haven't checked these out yet. Oh, there you go. Neat. Maybe we'll use those if it's bright and sunny. Live weather today. It's absolutely beautiful in Germany. I was doing a little bit of flying around this area yesterday, and it was completely overcast and quite horrible. Probably get someone with a chainsaw outside. Fortunately, it's too hot in Scotland right now, so I can't put the green screen up or anything at the moment. Yesterday was rain all day. Yeah, it definitely looked like that. So I'll leave the volume up for the engines just now, just so you can really hear the power in these things. The horsepower actually escapes me a bit. It's something ridiculous though. It is a fast airplane. Okay, there's our first marker coming up to our threshold stop. Let's bring it to a nice stop there. Put on the parking brakes for a sec. We are going to put on our recognition lights, which is taking that beacon switch all the way down, and our strobe, which is taking the nav switch all the way down. Landing lights can come on. Don't need wing ice or anything like that. Quick checks, everything is set there, that's fine. We've got mixture to full and props to full. We'll make a modification to that once we do our initial climb out. Don't need prop heat or anything like that. It's a lovely day today. Fuel pumps will come on. And we'll just take a quick look outside the aircraft and see if we can see anything in the way of flashing. Probably not. I'll show you what it looks like at night. There's your recognition lights changing, see? That's really cool. It's a fantastic airplane. Fantastic airplane and a fantastic add-on. Okay, we are ready to go, folks, so let's roll out. We are currently in VLOC mode, and that's where we want to be. Looks like a construction site. Nobody coming that I should have actually looked both directions, shouldn't I? Plenty of runway to take off, and the Duke's quite nimble. It gets up to speed quickly. It takes airborne about 103 knots roughly. It doesn't take long to get there, maybe 1,000, 1,500 feet tops. Jamie says, Guten, nearly afternoon, currently cruising over Slovenia on way down from Santorini. Very nice. So we are going to bring it up to just get those engines spooled up, make sure. Oh, flaps, we need flaps. Flaps. And watch this. Fight a bit of crosswind there. Jeez. A little bit of crosswind. And she'll leap into the air. We can raise the gear. I want to hold it get about 1,500 feet per minute climb rate. But we're going to drop the nose a bit, climb past 120 knots. We're going to raise the flaps. Flaps can come up. And then we're going to engage the autopilot. Okay, I'm going to turn that down a bit. It's loud in my head as well. So we're engaging the autopilot now. This is going to hold the climb altitude and also steer towards the designated heading, which was runway heading here. Now, we want to fly on that radial. You can see that we are currently at the beacons off to our pointing off to our left, and we're currently on the east side of it. So we're going to slowly bring the airplane around on an intercept path for that VOR. And we're going to arm the nav. Because the autopilot's on, it's already going to level us out at 3,000 feet, so we don't have to worry about that. The airplane will take care of everything that way. Gear retraction, it sounded spacey. I think it sounds like every other GA add-on I've had, so I don't know how accurate or not accurate it is. I presume it's accurate. And of course our ADF is pointing towards that VOR beacon anyway, so we know exactly where it is, but it's over here, but we want to fly in the radial that's going 358 degrees roughly. So that's a good intercept course for us. We're holding at 3,000. Everything's looking good. Turn the taxi lights off. And we could probably turn off our recognition lights as well. And we're going to... we're running way too hot, so we're now going to drop the props down. And bring us down to about 25 inches of mercury. And you can already see we're already running 170 knots. I mean, it's just raw power, constant power. all this VOR stuff in GA planes confuses you. Well, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So it just, you think of a VOR radial as like a line in the sky. So if here's your beacon, there's a radial going dead north of it. That is your north radial, your 360 degree radial, right? Or if you want to go south, it's 180. So what I know the beacon's over here. So once that arrow gets to about the same position as the tail, which is south, we should start seeing that that radial path floating back. And as soon as that happens, because I've armed the nav, the autopilot will disengage the heading and start flying track on the northbound radial from Bremen. Excuse me. Actually, we can probably do a bit more of aggressive intercept here. So let me turn the airplane a little bit further. Oh, sorry, no, it's intercepted now. You can see that. See the headings come off now. The nav's engaged, so that's fine. Just happened to do that. I was starting to play with the heading. We're now on a northern track, right? So I'll show you what I mean, Beluga. So Bremen beacon's here, right? We're about here somewhere. We've intercepted the north 360 radial, and it's now taking us. So if you think of a beam coming out of that radial pointing dead north, which is what we wanted to fly on, because I want to fly up to around here. So it's intercept. I've told it intercept the beam, but fly it on a radial 360. So if you think about a virtual line coming out of that beacon pointing north, that's what it's doing. Also, not bad to know how it works with all the GPS jamming going on. Exactly. Unfortunately, they're decommissioning a lot of the beacons. We've got a DME as well on here, so if we switch that to nav 1, this tells us our distance from Bremen, and it gives us indication of our true speed as we fly away from it. So if you look out here, you can see that this white arrow indicates that the beacon's behind us. Or we can look at the ADF needle, and that points at it anyway. We want to intercept. We want to intercept this NDB beacon up here, which is November Oscar Romeo. Now that's a frequency of 372, so we're going to use a different radio for this. Okay. We're going to use our ADF radio here. So 372, we'll dial that in. Come on. We'll hop that frequency over. And on our ADF, you'll see there's a switch here. So for the green needle, I don't want it to point to nav 2, I want to point to the ADF. We can actually see it's already picking up that non-directional beacon. Now that's about as clever as it's going to get, but what we're checking is to see, are we actually flying towards it, and we are. And there's a little bit of drift in it as well, which is really cool. It's very realistic. Oh, it's starting to get a little foggy again. Okay, I'm just going to drop the weather to a few clouds, guys, because I just want to be able to see everything. Will make the landings a lot easier as well. Yeah. Oh, conversation going on. Anything interesting? The GPS spoofing, yeah. I think this is going to become a real problem for us going forward. It's, you know, the funny thing is, 20 years ago, airplanes didn't need GPS at all. And even the modern airliners used inertial guidance. So, yeah, you got a bit of drift, but that's why it was so important to have your VOR beacons, because that's how the airplanes would correct. But we have all this wonderful technology here. So if we zoom out, you can see there's the NDB we're actually aiming for. Jimmy said when I was cruising over Germany, there was a high cloud ceiling, couldn't see the ground, but over Italy it's fine. Yeah, it's been a lot of cloud over Germany lately, actually. Oh, there's pressurization as well. We're not going to use that at 3,000 feet, but you can see it's about 16 degrees in the cabin. My passengers are complaining it's a bit cold, so I'm going to put the heating to auto, and we'll check back on that in a little bit, and you'll see that they'll climb up to about 21. I think it aims for about 21 degrees. But all these fuses, I'm not going to pull them out just now, but they all work. They all work. So if I turn on the panel lights, for instance, and I pull the switch for panel, did that turn off? I don't know. I'm probably pulling the wrong fuse though. Well, that's annunciator. Well, what I could do is I could pull the switch for avionics. That's not doing anything either. I'm probably missing a trick here. Anyway, it's got fuses. You can press things and do stuff. There's also full failure simulation in this. I'm not going to get into that. But there's all sorts of things you can do to try and simulate the airplane falling apart on you, and it can even schedule things. Or it's pretty good. It's amazing. It's certainly, I think it's closest going to get to completely accurate GA twin. You pulled the fuse for the coffee machine. That's it. Well, we don't need the panel lights right now anyway, so I'll leave that. Sorry, fuel pumps can come off though. Don't want to burn those out. And we're still pretty low, so we're going to leave the cowl flaps open as well. We'll take a quick look outside the airplane. We can see it flying. See Nighthawk behind me, not far behind. I've also set up some custom views as well, so I quite like this one. It's kind of just, it's almost like I have like a GoPro stuck on the wing, so I can look down the middle. There's a lovely wing view there. Or if you want to look out as a passenger. This is where you live, more or less, is it? Okay. Let's take a look. Beautiful area. Already passed it. Okay, I'm looking behind now. Nighthawk, take some photos. Yep. Right. Alright, let's check on progress here. So, we can see on there roughly where we are from a visual standpoint, but let's say we didn't have that. And we want to know how far we are from that NDB. Now the NDB can't tell us that, but what there is up there is a DME. Now this doesn't give you any radials, but it does give you distance. And there's the DME there, I think. Yeah, so that's Norholtz, and that's 117.10. So what I'm going to do is to get access to our nav2 radio, I just have to push that in. There's your nav2. 117.2, wasn't it? And we'll transfer that straight in. Now I'm going to switch this to our VOR to see if that's picked anything up. I don't know. Oh no, because there is no VOR, so that's it. So we're using the NDB, but now if I switch this over to N2, assuming I've put in the correct frequency, let me just double check that. 117.1, sorry. User error. There we go. And that tells us that we're 14 nautical miles away. I don't know. Interesting. Oh no, it's recalibrated. So we're 13 miles away and we got about 5 minutes. And we're closing on that DME at about a rate of 161 knots. That DME might not be there. Oh no, it's I'll tell you what. Guys, I'm gonna tell you something right now. So under Scenery Library, there's an option for Navigraph. Do not use this. Do not, unless you can update it, because this is currently going off an AirX cycle 1801, which is way, way old. And I was getting all sorts of beacons and things that didn't exist. As soon as I turn that off, so it's only using Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, which does get AirX updates from time to time, but I've got Navigraph anyway that updates Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm essentially taking advantage of Navigraph's data through updating Microsoft 2020. So, but if you use this, little navmap has an old AirX cycle. Don't use that because it's old. It's going to show you beacons that don't exist. So now that I've done that, everything that's in little navmap is there, which is great because it was driving me nuts. But the scary thing is, you now realize how few beacons there are compared to what there used to be. So yeah, just a quick hint there. Yeah, if you're a Navigraph user, update the sim, not little navmap, and don't use navmap's Navigraph stuff. Okay, so we're pointing to the ADF. What I want to do now is I'm gonna go to the heading mode here. And I'm gonna fly. I want to fly to the west of that NDB. As soon as the tail, or as soon as that's pointing dead east, I'm then going to turn dead west and try and keep that NDB on my tail dead east, and that's going to take me straight into the first airport. And then from there, we'll follow our GPS course, so you can see that working as well. While we're waiting, we can get some lovely views of the German coastline. Very nice. Lots of farmland out here, isn't there? You can see that needle starting to drift down. Visually, we know that that's happening because we can see that we're closing on it. So it's actually, I actually like the PMS 50 for it gives you a good visual reference if you want to try VOR flying and you're not really sure how it all works. But the best thing I can recommend is making sure you have little nav map. Plan your route, add your VORs and your NDBs to it. It'll give you the headings, and then you just run it like a map, like a road map. Okay, so we're going to thread the needle between the DME and the NDB there. As soon as I see that starting to drift down to the east, that's when I'll turn the plane. Jamie says, I know how to do a DME. You use DME when using VOR approaching the airliners. That's right. Yeah, that's what gives you, generally, if you're using RNAV or ILS, ILS will often contain DME, which gives you your distance to the airport. Christian says, all right, gonna head out and buy some lunch later. Christian, all the best to you, mate. Have a great day. Hope the weather stays nice for you. Okay, you can see that needle starting to float down now. And of course it is, because if that's where the beacon is in proportion to our airplane, then that's, you can see that's what it's pointing at. Okay, so just to soften the blow a bit, I'm going to go about halfway until that needle floats right to the east, and then we'll turn dead west. Give it a tap. Love it. Holding a nice steady 160 knots. We still got Nighthawk behind us? There he is. Oh, he's not far away. Okay, that's now east. So let's go west. We probably want to overturn it a bit because I think we just overflew. So if we if we turn a bit further than west, then that should correct back to east. And then what we're looking for is we're looking for that first island to pop out, which was Wangi Walker. Already forgot. And that's about as much we're going to get with beacons at the moment. There is a beacon way along the islands, which is Amiland 358. So you probably make use of that. Excuse me. So what we'll do is we'll tune that in, get that frequency ready. Unfortunately, you can only tune one ADF at a time. There's only one radio for that. Alright, I think I'm going to change up the music here. Watch that coastline drift behind us. Oh, it's a lovely day here, so I think after this we're gonna take advantage of the sunshine. Jamie says, have you seen the new Santorini? I don't know if I have, actually. Was it good? Did you buy it? Oh, by the way, guys, do us just all a favor. And just while you're sitting here, you give a wee tap on that link for us. Just let Orbx know that you guys are watching and that you're interested in the products that we showcase for you. It really helps us out. And of course, please do pay a visit to Just Flight. Look at some of the great airplanes they got. We for many months featured the Aero, the Piper Aero, which has been a fantastic add-on. The Hawk as well, which are a fan favorite of ours, the Warrior, and now, you know, the Black Square Duke. It's just, we're absolutely flooded with fantastic airplanes. So do pay a visit to them, and of course PMS 50. A huge shout out to PMS 50 for supporting us, and actually quite enthusiastically supporting us to showcase all the cool stuff that their GTN 750 does. We're really going to put that GTN 750 through its paces once we go into the GPS mode. But I think for me, I think the GTN 750 add-on, I think it's a must-have. If you like the modern convenience of a good GPS system, it's an absolutely fantastic thing to use, and there's so many features to it. Okay, we're keeping an eye out for our first island here. And I think we're going to stop at this one because I just want to show you some of the little details which are really nice about it. There's Nighthawk in the background. See? Lots of people in the sky today, eh? And we are now coming on to our intended course. Big thank you to Dark Fury, of course, who's done this wonderful flight plan for us. Just had just a slight deviation just to show off the VLOC features of the airplane in the PMS 50. They modeled the whole island and airport for only £15. Wow. Really cool with all the white houses. Nice. Oh, I think I did see it now you talk about it. I think was Shane flying with it the other day. And Jamie says also use Gavin's 10% code because it's on Contrail. Very cool. Well, that's always helpful. A little bit of money off can't hurt, eh? Oh, I feel like tapping something. I do love doing that. So much fun. Okay, are we still... So, now, this is interesting. We're correct... Even though we're not facing west, the needle's still holding nicely on east. Actually, it's starting to turn, to be fair. So I'll correct back. And again, it's a very simple thing. It's a non-directional beacon. All it does is send out a signal, but the ADF can tell us where it is. And as long as we keep that needle on the east, which we know is due east of that first island, we can use that to navigate. Let's say like dead. It's not quite dead reckoning, but it's almost like dead reckoning. And I'll take us to our first destination, and there it is. So if we didn't have that GPS at all, and we were just looking at the map, obviously you need some sort of map to plan all this out. But you can get yourself anywhere. You don't need GPS to do that. Okay, I'm going to start dropping the airplane a bit now. So I'm going to take the autopilot off, and I'm just going to bring back the throttle. Let the airplane drift down. As we prepare for landing, we'll get all sorts of things on. You'll send some photos in the Discord? Yeah, cool. Yeah. No news today, unfortunately, guys. But we got a lot of flying to do, so it's all good. I also like if you make good use of the throttle. It's a really good way to try and control your descent, and the airplane will eventually just settle into a nice little descent path down to where you're heading to. But like I said, this thing can fly. This actually cruises. It's designed to cruise at 24,000 feet. And at that level, you can usually average somewhere in the region of 200 knots. Or, at one point with the tailwind, I had a ground speed of about 240 knots. It was absolutely remarkable. Very, very, very quick airplane. And she's so easy to fly. I mean, very little inputs if everything's trimmed out. I can see the runway up ahead of us there. I'm going to bring that throttle right back. Some pictures in the Discord? Yep, we'll do, yeah. We'll have a look at that when we land. Alright, I'm gonna have to... I need to level off a bit just to slow this airplane down. So we're running a bit too hot. Okay, props to full. Drift it back to about 120. We'll get the gear down for drag. First stage of flaps. Let's bring it back now. And we want to stay above the blue line. I don't know if it's easy to see there. It's roughly around 120. I do need to turn the fuel pumps on, so if I can do that without crashing the plane. Right, fuel pumps. Whoop, whoop. There we go. Alright, there's the runway. Okay. I think we're too high. Let's see where the winds are actually first. So I'm not gonna make this one, so I'm gonna do a oh, come on. Come on, Sim. Going to do a right-hand circuit here. Well, of course, we're on fuel clouds. There's only 4 knots anyway, so that's fine. We'll do a right-hand. Give us a lovely view over the scenery here. This is really, really nice, guys. It's definitely worth checking out. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Looks like an idyllic place to live. Bit more power. That's one thing I really like about this airplane. The flight dynamics handling is just as amazing as all the avionics and cool stuff that this comes with. Oh, still too high. I didn't gauge that very well. Alright, I'll tell you what, let's do this one more time. I'll do a left hand, it'll come out over this peninsula. Just, my what do you call it, my situational awareness wasn't working that well. Yeah, it is amazing, it's really nice, Jamie. East Frisian Islands, a lovely part of the world, and it's not a place you wouldn't think to go island hopping in Germany, but you absolutely can. I think we're going to do a bit of a cheat here just to see where we are. There we go. See, I can't lean out the window like a pilot normally would, but I can do it this way. Also, a spectacular view. You can see the detailing on the external model there. should give us plenty of space this time. Hopefully. Of course, we've climbed a bit since we've done that. A little bit of side slipping in here, I think. Alright. Still coming in too hot. Oh man, what am I doing? Alright. Are we gonna dive bomb this thing? We're okay, we're okay. Oh, frozen again. Come on, Sim. Now there's a little lip just at the head of this runway which we don't want to hit. There you go. So Nighthawk, if you follow that taxiway all the way down, this is where eye tracking would be useful? Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm going to take you on a little tour now when we go down this little taxiway, just to show you. It's not just an airfield. It's not just a runway. Check this out. And I would love to fly from this airport in real life. So like, where are we gonna go? Where are we going? Where are we going, Willy? Where are you taking us? Watch this. Little seems huge. Okay, here we go. Obviously, I would think this airport's probably well used for grass strip landings as well. And right at the end, this lovely little terminal pops out. It's really cool. It's great scenery. It's fantastic. And I get about 6 airports, six of these little airports with these Frisian Islands scenery. Again, it's available from Orbx. Look at that, cool, yeah, lovely. Can you imagine just you know, Sunday afternoon, just having a wee flight out of here? So what these are just gonna turn around. Oh, there's looks like a diamond there. Did Nighthawk follow me? No. Okay. There we go. Isn't that cool? All parked up. Feel free to grab a coffee. Right, so we'll just take a quick look at what Jamie sent through. All right, Santorini. Okay, let's have a look at that. Ooh, that does look nice. So is this where do you buy? Is this available on Orbx, Nighthawk or Jamie? Yeah, I did see this. Shane was flying this the other day. It looks amazing, doesn't it? Can you imagine living in a place like that? Yeah, a lot of really, really good detailing here. Oh, it was on Contrail, you got it right, okay. Yeah, it looks really, really good. Look at that. Love that. That's mental. That is absolutely insane. It's just built into the side of a cliff. Oh, lovely. Very nice. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it looks really cool. Thanks for sharing that. For only 15 euros, yeah. Well, or 15 pounds, yep. There's the clincher right there. Okay. Check fuel levels. Now we still got tons of fuel. So I'll make my way out to the airport, and then this time we're going to use the GPS tracking. I'll show you how that works. So I think that takes us out to the far end, doesn't it? Okay. Flap set to takeoff position. Do you want to make use of the whole runway, I think? Just because of that, there's like a berm or hill surrounding it. I presume that's realistic. I don't know if it's a flaw or if that's a real thing. But it might just be there for flood prevention, I would think. Seatbelt sign is going on over Albania. Alright. That's probably enough. Okay. Alright. Yeah, you think, is that enough runway? Well, watch this. Holding the toe brakes. I think I just went through Night Hawk there. So what we can do is we can adjust our see where we are here. So that's, yeah, we've just taken off. So now I'm going to switch this over to GPS mode. You'll see GPS also indicate on the GTN 750, and I'm going to click on nav. Now, because we were already on the magenta track, it's put us basically straight onto it. Alright, so it's actually going to intercept and then pick that up. If you're off track, though, you need to set your heading first and arm the nav, and then once it intercepts the track, then you're fine. There we go. Take it to 2000 this time, actually. Look at that water glisten. Isn't that nice? Jamie says currently en route. We'll send a video in Discord when I land. Hopefully OBS behaves and actually records your sim audio. Okay. Seatbelts. Oh no, we said that already. Eh? Poloco Nadera says, "Yo, how you doing, sir? Hope you're doing all right." Hit the like and subscribe for us. If you haven't hit the like, guys, please do that for us. Always helps. I'll give you a lovely look at the islands. So what we'll do is the next couple runways that we see, we'll just do a touch and go. And actually, I'll probably need to take a quick break as well. There we go. Yeah, so that's the autopilot just training us on course there, just to make things a little bit interesting. Again, wouldn't mind staying there. That looks lovely. Although I'd imagine the groceries are quite expensive, or food is probably quite expensive to buy there. Best to land and take a break? Yeah, I think we'll probably do that. What's our next airport? Maybe we'll do it there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's land at Echo Delta Whiskey Lima. Oop. Flight plan. Let's go flight plan. Yeah, Langaoog. Runway 05 and 23. So probably land runway 05 then. I'm just going to actually, as a marker, oh, 23 is probably what we want then. 23. 23. Oh, come on. So the runway goes about that way, like that. Yeah. We're only at 2,000. Oh, what? Autopilot, what are you doing? It's flown past your set altitude. So I put it back on. What we'll do is we'll tell it to drop the nose. That's what this little pitch control here, that's for the autopilot. There it goes. Hopefully it should level out. Pitch trim's still on, yeah. Yep. Everything's good. Pumps can come off. Jamie says, I flew down to Lanzarote yesterday and got Canaries control. Hopefully Athena will come back online for arrival today. Oh yeah, cool. Oh, that reminds me, we got to talk about Volanta as well. There's a big update coming for Volanta, so if I know quite a few of you guys use it, and of course you can find me on Volanta, Willy Canuck. Just add me as a friend. I won't say no. But they've got a big update coming for it, so I just said I would talk a little bit about the product today for them. Let's put Snoopy in the doghouse. I think we just overflew an airport, didn't we? Yeah, it's behind us. How far is the next one? We'll go the next one, Nighthawk. Echo Delta Whiskey Yankee. That is runway 26. Interesting how most of these runways are kind of west-east facing, aren't they? Yeah, slow the plane down a bit. Just so we don't overshoot and we can get down in time. Don't want to be flying circles again before I hit this runway. We're flying yet another runway here. Of course, there's more runways than I can count. Unless that they consider the oh no, there was a runway there. Whirlwind tour of the islands here. Okay, let's drop down. I think because we're just passing these things way too quickly. Let's get nice and slow. Well, we know this is runway T6, so we probably want to come in from this side. I can just see it now. Yeah. Fuel pumps on. Flaps. Flaps are down. Hope that's the right one. I think so. Again, look, there's more of this kind of flood prevention, ground engineering, and that. Oh, come on, don't. This thing keeps locking on me. Actually, it turned out to be an okay landing anyway. Now, this has got a bit more of a substantial kind of. Come on. Overshot it a bit there. Yeah, I keep getting locks in the sim. I don't know if it's probably have to clean out my clean the sim out a bit. Do a shader cache clear out. I think that's what I'm overdue for, actually. And this is really cool. Look at the lovely little airport here. It's like a grass strip parking for this one. Okay, parked up there. See if Nighthawk's coming in. Oh, he's already down. It was too slow. Oh, it looks like he drifted a bit. I don't feel so bad now. Okay, so I'll Nighthawk and I are just gonna park up for take about 3-4 minutes. We'll be right back, guys. And feel free to join in with us if you want. Just if you do happen to be, you got time to load the sim. We are currently at Echo Delta Whiskey Yankee. Echo Delta Whiskey Yankee on the North Europe server, and we will be back in 4 minutes. While today's pilots, myself and Nighthawk, take a little bit of a break. Right back with you guys. Hang on. Hey guys, right back with you. Well, the Nighthawk just sitting stationed at the end of the okay. Quick fuel check. I still got tons. Getting a battery warning, that's interesting. Probably because the engines are throttled. Oh, look, the fuel pump's going nuts. Well, once you bring up the engine a bit, it's fine. So you can actually drain the battery with the engines running, which is quite remarkable. Right, I will taxi out to Nighthawk's position this time. Let's see if we can do a coordinated takeoff, Nighthawk. How's that? Okay, we got a lovely coastal tour coming up here before we swing back to our final airport. Do you want to take off first this time, Nighthawk? We can watch you. I'll try and pace behind you. Assuming he's back in his cockpit, he might not be. Oh, no, there he goes. Okay, fuel pump's on. The Chancellor that Nighthawk's flying is no slouch either. That is a very, very powerful airplane. Don't know where he's going there. Drop the nose a little bit. Want to climb to about 120. Used the entire runway. Yeah, it looked like it did. Yeah. Okay. Just get some pitch up input in there. Oh no, close enough to the nav. Looks like it's going to pick it up. That's fine. Should get a nice view of the island from this side. Lovely beaches, look at that. Must be pretty spectacular in the summer. All right. Anyway, while we're flying here, just a wee word about Volanta. So Volanta has a big update coming, and if you're not familiar with Volanta, please do check it out. It's completely free. There is a premium option which gives you a few more features. One of those is schedules, so I don't currently have the premium at the moment, but if you can get all sorts of different access to real-world schedules, which is really cool. But apart from that, it's a really great way to keep track of your friends. So we've got a I got a friend request from Jamie, so I can accept that. And if I go to my friends, in theory, I should be able to see if anybody's online. Right now, it says everyone's offline for some reason. Nighthawk, I don't know if you have a Volanta. But you should add me so I can see if anybody's on. But here it's like it's showing me the track. This was our destination was Borkum, but obviously we're kind of doing a roundabout track, and it kind of shows you everything that you've done so far. The other thing I really like about it too is if I go to one of the airplanes that I've used a lot. So this is the Piper Arrow. It gives you this really awesome kind of chronology of like when you've flown it. You can look into one of the flights, so I can click on that. I can look at the statistics, see what my landing rate was. It's really cool. It tracks everything for ages. Not active today. No worries. I just think it's one of these really neat things that you can do. Of course, if I go to the PMDG 737, which you guys have seen a lot of flights for me doing in. And again, there you go, a lovely graph there, and it also tells you all the destinations I've flown, so you can see all the routes that I've flown when I've had Volanta active, which is quite cool. And also shows the top airports that I've flown to. So here I got Montreal, London, I think London, Ontario that is. Or no, Kitchener, Ontario, possibly. Toronto actually shows up in there as well. And you can just dig into any of these things. It's really cool. It's amazing. There's a flight I did from, where was that? Can't remember where that was from. Seattle to Edmonton. That was recent. That was a recent stream. Yeah, really awesome product. Has all these activities you can check out as well. And also there's all these different layers, so you can go to like a US sectional chart. Well, that's not available at the moment. Or satellite mode, which is cool. Want to look at that? Put on your day and night line. See weather. Isn't that cool? It's amazing. It's a very well-rounded tool. Jamie, you remember that stream, do you? Yeah. J-Hawk says, afternoon, just popping in. Jet washing 4 hours. All right, I'm done now. How's the flight going? Yeah, it's not too bad. Just talking a little bit about Volanta. Big update coming for Volanta. Absolutely fantastic product. Please do check out. There's so many different things you can do in it. Drawing, that's a new thing, so I don't know about that. You can hold shift or control the draw. Shift. There you go. Then you can share it. It's cool, eh? Yeah, very cool product anyway. So yeah, please do check that out. It's completely free to download. There is a premium option if you want a few more features. Oh, there's a good shot of Nighthawk just below me. And we're just currently flying this picturesque course along the coast. This is when you want a nice window shot, isn't it? Or a wing shot. Actually, better make sure that we're settled at our altitude. Yes, we are. Okay. Okay. Watch the scenery go by. Nighthawk's right, he's right low to the ground right now. Like are you trying to get close to the water, Nighthawk? Is that what you're doing? Let's bring in the live weather actually, just see what that looks like right now. Just get a little bit more wind, a little bit more detail in the water. Still a bit on the hazy side. corporate pilot dad. He says, that looks like some prime farm country. Yeah, it will be. How you doing, Tim? You see my new baby, Tim. This is the Black Square Duke, Grand Duke, this one. It's absolutely fantastic. Wonderful airplane. Going a bit quick. I'm going to just drop that down. Don't really need to go 180 knots right now. I think well, the thing is, Dark Fury originally designed this flight plan for the Aero, so of course it's so easy to fly so fast in the Duke. We must have skipped about 3 islands without even realizing it. That's your smuggle run plane. Quite right. Just for fun, I'm going to look, see if there's a beacon we can tune in. Yeah, there is an NDB Amiland 358. Oh, we had that ready to go, didn't we? Let me switch that over. Might be out of range at the moment, but we'll see if we pick that up. It'll be the green arrow that flicks if once we get in range. I think it's over here somewhere. Probably a bit too far away. Some of the non-directional beacons have quite limited range, and we're only about 2,000 feet in the air as well, so... Hitting some clouds again. Just do a quick check on the temperature. Nothing, I don't think, it's still quite warm. Just in case we needed anti-ice, but we don't, so that's fine. No, I don't think real weather's going to work for us today, guys. Could have missed all the scenery if we do that. We can have something to eat while we're waiting. Let's get the little table out. You're on live weather? Yeah. Nah, it's... I mean, I always fly in live weather usually, but sometimes when you're trying to look at nice scenery, it's not always beneficial when you're streaming. It's kind of like, oh look, there's a cloud. Oh look, there's another cloud. Athene came online, going to close the stream now. See you later. Right, okay, Jamie, take care. Don't know who that is. Can actually, I just love the detailing on this, and always being able to raise the... That's really cool. I don't think those ones do that. Oh, still got my lights on here. I love even when the way they extinguish, it's quite realistic, isn't it? It fades out rather than just ticks off. I wouldn't mind being passenger in this thing, that's for sure. Get some air. And if I do that, watch that temperature gauge drop. Should do. Might not. I think it's detailed that way. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, it is a truly extraordinary island. I don't think we're going to have enough time to get back to Bremen, guys, so we are going to finish off at Borkum. Because we are currently 15 minutes left in the stream, so... Still haven't picked up that NDB yet, though. So with apologies, Nighthawk, I'm going to, let's see what this thing can actually do. We're going to crank it up. Now again, we're not taking it up to high altitude. Well, we could do, but I don't think we have enough time to do that. Maybe a future stream we'll do a high altitude, a proper trip, cross-country trip in the Duke. My music's too rocky. I'll do. So yeah, so that at 2,000 altitude, which is not the optimum altitude for the Duke, and yet I can still push 190 knots. And I'm still in the green. I'm using a lot more fuel. And it's probably not great for the, you know, to... But yeah, it just does it. It's so powerful. It's such a fast airplane. You're passing 200? Okay, cool. Yeah, that Chancellor's gonna come in handy. Well, there you are. You're up ahead, yeah. See if I can edge it even higher than... I'm still in the green. Now you're really seeing that scenery fly by. Traffic warning. It must be Nighthawk. There's still some things I don't even know how to use yet. I'll have to probably turn on my transponder. Now, our final runway, which is Echo... I should remember what it was called, actually. Oh, Borkum Airport. That's what it is. So if we run down to there, let's look at our waypoint for runways. We've got runway 23 and runway 05. So we'll probably go through runway 05. Which will point that direction, just to give us a reference. I'm not picking up that NDB. Oh. Nighthawk is well ahead of me now. Putting that Chancellor through its paces. But I mean, I'm not completely familiar with the Chancellor, but I would have to think that this add-on is definitely going to give it a run for its money. The quality of the Black Square Duke and the turbine as well. The turbine Duke is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And the turbine is a completely different airplane to fly as well, so I might do that on a future stream, just to show you the differences. Very, very easy to destroy the engines in the turbine Duke. It's a very specific sequence you have to do to make sure that everything's powering up properly. You also have interesting things in the turbine Duke, like inertial separators, which becomes quite critical, and it's modeled on the EFB as well. It's really, really neat. There's so much detail in the turbine Duke, and that, I mean, by rights, that is an add-on on its own. But you can buy a bundle, I believe, on Just Flight. So yeah, we will definitely show off the turbine one. But I've got to say, from a classic perspective, from a sound perspective, I just absolutely adore the Piston, because just hearing those turbocharged engines springing to life is just amazing. Okay, that's Nighthawk is reached. Look at that water, eh? And it puts you to sleep too, I find, the engine noise. There we go. Look at that detail. Isn't that lovely? These sandbars must be amazing. It's definitely a beautiful part of the world. Oh, there's a TBM out there. It would actually be a good area to practice landing on the beach if you have like the Fox or something like that. Probably quite good for that. Or Twin Otter. There you go, passenger high view. Lovely. Still haven't been to Bera in the Twin Otter. Yeah, well, I'm hoping that we're hoping to do that in real life actually quite soon. Myself and Mrs. Canuck were just going to just for fun, just fly from Glasgow in the Twin Otter up to Bera, stay overnight, and come back in the morning. I wonder how much these cost, actually. Because they don't make the Duke anymore. They do sell them. And of course, a lot of Dukes were upgraded with the turbine engines because they're more reliable. Which is a shame, really, because I just think those piston engines just sound amazing. But as you can see, you can get very quick, get to different places very quick when you got two 6-cylinder turbocharged engines powering each wing. Absolutely crazy. Okay, we've got our final waypoint coming up, and then we'll be turning towards our final destination. That doesn't look like the runway's what it says it is, doesn't it? Guess we'll find out. Ground speed of 212 knots. Absolutely crazy. And everything's still in the green. Now, as I mentioned, fuel flow is considerable. You can fly fast, but you are going to go through your fuel up much quicker. And you can still, if you get bored while you're waiting, you can still look at the what's happening with the engines. There's the electrical simulation there. That's your cabin. That'll be your cabin air. Yep. Degrees. That's nice and it's pretty amazing. Absolutely amazing airplane. Once again, big thank you to Just Flight for giving us the opportunity to showcase this. Do check them out. JustFlight.com. And do hit the like and subscribe button if you're watching in the background. It really helps us out. Okay, let's slowly get things slowed down a bit. As we approach our final island. Looks like Nighthawk might already... Looks like Nighthawk has already landed. Maybe not. .130 knots, waiting for 120, and we'll drop the flaps, get some extra drag. Drop our gear. Props to full. Get fuel pumps on. About the middle of the island here, so turn the music down too so you can hear everything. Trying to stay above blue line here. The freezes again. Lovely detailing here. This looks like actually look at what's on the beach. take a little pass, see if we can see a bit more detail of it. Is it people? Is it tents or something like that? I'm not sure. That's cool. Oh, I think I see the runway. This might be a grass strip, actually, now that I think about it. Oh, wait, hang on. There we are. Okay. To left-hand circuit. Looks short though. Definitely not the runway said in the waypoint info. Full flaps. Bring it down slowly. You even hear the braking noise on the wheels as well. It's pretty cool. Okay, fuel pumps can come off. See if we can find a path to the terminal here. Flaps can come. And we'll park up and have one final look at our final island in the East Frisian scenery. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? This makes you want to come here, doesn't it? Parking brakes are on. Fuel to cut off. Engine's off, gen off. Avionics can come off. And battery. And we can open up the doors. Let's get everything on. All the covers. Open the baggage door. Open that door. There we go. Let's everybody out. There's Nighthawk. Perfect. Lovely parking. And we'll just take a quick look around the scenery. This is really lovely. Little details like that. Welcome to Borkum. Just something that brings a little extra. And you know, I think the people who fly in these areas must be immensely proud of their aviation heritage as well. Because they're so dependent on it. It's, you know, it's the best way to get back and forth between the islands. But huge thank you to Nighthawk, who has been with me the whole step of the way. Hope you enjoyed the scenery. Hope you enjoyed the Duke. Couldn't recommend it more. It is absolutely fantastic airplane. Do check out our good friends at justflight.com. And a huge thank you to Orbx as well for helping us showcase Bremen, which we saw at the beginning of the stream, and the East Frisian Islands scenery. Wonderful scenery. Go check them out too at Orbx. Apart from that, wish you a fantastic weekend. Hopefully the weather is as good where you are as it is where I am. And we look forward to seeing you next week. There will be a stream next week. I think we're back into the airliners, possibly back into Airbus as well, because I've been favoring the PMDG too much lately. Huge shout out to Jamie and J-Hog and Tim, Corporate Pilot Dad, and everybody else that's been with us through the chat today. And if you're a first time viewer, please do like and subscribe and join us in our Discord server. There's a link in the show notes. Become part of the positive rate family. We're all a bunch of friendly guy. Nighthawk says you have Defenix now. Perfect, amazing. I don't even have that yet. And Nighthawk says great flight. Thank you very much, Nighthawk. Anyways, from all of us to all of yours, have a fantastic rest of the weekend, and we'll see you next week. All the best.